everybody? This is Corey Anthony, and I'm here on 4.5 or 45 degree Discovery Channel, my channel for my discovery to help you all realize something new about ancient and Hindu symbols and the relation to my discovery that you see here on the screen. All right. And the fact is, the purpose of this video is to actually showcase that this symbol or this discovery that I have made is actually something that you can't find in any books labeled by name. Because it's one thing to hear me say that this cannot be found anywhere on the earth, but it's another thing for me to actually be able to show you why, where, and how. It's kind of funny how this is right there in the center at the 7. It's just like the mohair sign. Y'all will get it though. But anyway, here we go. So you have something called, you can type in ancient, and I will use other search engines too. Sorry for the typo. So upon finding, if I'm factually showing you that there are ancient Hindu symbols, or that the architecture of Hindus actually utilizes a consistent geometry and a symbol found, then I hope you could understand what I'm showing you. You see this here? The consistency found here is that you see this right here that looks just like my work. That's what I was just talking about, the center of Mohair when you sit it directly on top of my work. That was me testing out things. But this is what I was referring to, what you just saw me saying. When you take this circle right here and put it in the center of my work, like you see right here, that's pretty much what I was saying at the home screen with this. And that's the Mandelbrot set as well, what you see right there, the Mandelbrot set. So the fact is, and if you want to know what that is, that was me showing the Fibonacci sequence right there. Right here at this line right here, you got this part of the bending part of the legs, and then the butt is right there because of course it starts to curve to the back right there. So, but to stay on point, this right here is something that I found in a video, and they were showing you how this is all across the world. This is on richardcasaro.com, and this is showing you that other people have literally, that I'm not tripping on anything, that I'm showing facts behind what it is that what I've discovered. These same symbols are found in different places across the world. I know I'm saying that twice, but there are archaeologists that are noteworthy, that have been through college and everything, that apparently people who have been through college notice what me who has not been through college notices, but they don't notice this. And so what I'm showing you is, you can see that this is in Belize. You can see that this is in Maya, but they have a name for it in Maya. You can find the symbol if you type in ancient Mayan symbols. But when you type in ancient Hindu symbols, you don't get the same results. The closest thing that you will get to it is the endless knot. And so here you are. These are ancient Hindu symbols. We can just go through them for forever, but you will not find what you find. My point is, the main symbol that you see used in Hinduism for carving their architecture, you don't find any of these symbols there. You don't find the swastika on any of these temples. In drastic measures. And I ain't seen it once, honestly. But I'm leaving the door open by saying not in drastic measures for it to be seen even one time, because it comes from India. So I would imagine that they would put it in stone, but I know for facts that it's not the main thing that's there. It's not the main symbol. The main symbol that I'm showing is literally that they're building off of and carving. So if you go to Oisel-Swar Temple and zoom in on his windows, you zoom in on his windows and you got that symbol there. You see that? carved in there. The Chakana. I'm trying to find a better picture. That one, I know it's the same one. Sometimes they have the same one, but one of them is clearer. That was my purpose in clicking on that, not to be dumb. But as you can see, that's the Chakana right there. La Chakana. All right. But that's a symbol. That's even the temple itself when you go to a sky view. You see how that looks and how they conjoin them even. The conjoinment of them is just like you see with my work there. You don't find this anywhere in nature. You do, so you don't, I mean, come on. You find it right there. Now I'm trying to show you. And here are some more temples. Here is Chinakeshava. You can see that this is the consistent. I'm glad they went ahead and did this. This is the consistency. You can see that on this blueprint, there's a consistency of this symbol. There is no way in the world that the world should be sitting up and not understand or comprehend really greatly that what I'm showing is proven, in fact, that there's a symbol that's looked over and slept on. And it has actual historical, mathematical significance. As you can see right here. Looks just like my work. I don't see how I'd be tripping on nothing, you know. But anyway, keep on teaching, you know. So here's another one. Apparently the candy. I mean, that's why I told you almost every single one of them is built on this. And that's what I'm trying to help people understand, man. I'm trying to help them really, really get it. There's a consistency in this geometry. There is no lie behind. I didn't just get lucky in discovering a couple of Indian temples that look like that and a few sites across the world that share the same symbol, but everything else about them is different. That's what's significant to me. Everything about these cultures across the world that I have found this symbol there, they are completely different. They talk different, walk different, pray different, gods are different, but this is the main thing. I can't say the only thing because there are other archaeologists that have done work too, like the keyhole that I showed y'all. That's one thing that's significant. So, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that this is, there you go, all over the earth and everything else is different. So what am I showing? Ancient Hindu symbols, my bad. Continuing to go through the symbols. As you can see, the closest one that you could see that looks to my work is the endless knot. That's right there. Besides that, you will not find anything else. And I forgot to mention this here, but y'all already were let known about that. The Sri Yantra. So, none there. I don't see it there. I don't see it there. Continuing to go. And we did type in ancient Hindu symbols. Not new or modern. Very important. Like I say, the title of this video is Open Research. There's a difference between Indian American. So see this right here, ancient Indian American symbols. The closest thing you see to it here is down here. A little up there, but not surely. That one is at least halfway. Continuing. This one right here you've been shown is the Sri Yantra, and the outline literally is similar to the Chakana. This right here, ancient Hindu astrology symbols. Why does that look like the center of my discovery? Does it look familiar? You see that there? Boom, 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 boom. Same thing going on there. Same exact thing. Now, what if you ended up finding out that those symbols right there were the numbers that I got right there possible? Had anything to do with them? I guess it's just more stuff to look over, right? Hit the like button if you've learned anything this time around. Thank you to anybody who's come in. If y'all have noticed on certain videos, especially when I'm teaching and stuff like that, I don't even be checking to see how many viewers is watching. That's because I'm trying to really help y'all understand. Still not seeing it, not trying to go too fast or anything, but I'm just a fast look. That one right there is different, but it's very similar to my work. 0, 1, 2, 3. No, that's not it though. If you did right angle it off. Not it. Can't find it anywhere, man. I mean, come on. Ancient Hindu symbols. I mean, goodness. Because you can't tell me it's not a symbol. And if it was, if you did try to tell me, what is it? Because we know how they wrote their numbers. Wow. Symbolism in architecture. Damn, that one is ridiculous, boy. Like Angkor Wat. That look. Now you can't tell me that don't look like my work, bro. You don't see it? That's ridiculous. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, that's crazy. This is one of the most interesting ones that I've come across. 0, 1, 2. Yep. And squaring off. Didn't I tell y'all as well that the square is always made at 2 and 7? That's what I told y'all. A square is a right angle. If you understand that. A square is a right angle. If you understand that. A measuring, that's called a square. But it's shaped like and I have heard, I give credit where it's due. I have heard, I'm not copying him, but I'm just keeping it real. This is the truth. A square in itself, if you take two number sevens, a right angle and a right angle, you're going to get a full square. So 2 sevens, or like I showed y'all, if you look at my work, at the 7 and the 2, that's where the square is made at. So 2 sevens will give you a full square. So, you know, that shout out to Sanchez. He actually said that in the past. So, bro, Sanchez TV said that about this 2 sevens. I'm not one who tries to copy, take nothing. Damn near everyone. Like it has to be built like it's a and then that's what's crazy. Y'all understand their cosmology and stuff like that. You understand their cosmology and say it's the truth, but then the main place that you would see the cosmology reflected is in their architecture. And you can read up on that. I just don't get how y'all don't get it. How you gonna say the ley lines are real and all of that stuff, and then you see this right here, the buildings that were built based on the ley lines energy are built in a certain way. Yep. Look at these ley lines. You see how that looks? See how this looks? Trying to find the correct one. I ain't gonna find it. I don't want it. But Nazca lines, if you look at the Nazca lines, all of the lines that are made, There, like you see here, these are just a few, because there are far more, like here, and that ain't even it. But there's just like this one, more so. Those are ley lines. Same thing going on, man. They mirror. It's like looking in the mirror, holding one up to the mirror. So the Nazca Sun Star that I showed you, my work, when you put it right on top of there, I'm trying to help y'all understand whether the earth is flat or whether it's round, that my work is going to help you understand and factually be able to say what it is, because it's all over the earth. When I first made my discovery with the Nazca Sun Star and put this discovery over the Nazca Sun Star, the first thing that I said, and I can actually go back, I recorded it on YouTube. It's recorded, and I will replay that in the future, even if it has to be the next video. So the facts are what I said upon first realizing the superimposing it over. I said, okay, so this is this spot right here that I know this is it. As far as my discovery, this pertains to this spot right here. And I said, my discovery, though, it continues to expand. It doesn't stay small. It doesn't have a set limit. It's something that expands forever. And so you could put it all over the earth. And then upon realizing that, what I realized was, when I came across a video that spoke of Angkor Wat's relation to the Nazca lines. And apparently there's a line, or lines actually, that loop back around to Angkor Wat from the Nazca lines. And that's very important, because the facts are, at that point, this is all, like I said, if it was dealing with ley lines, that all would connect. Common sense. And the facts are as well, when you go over to Angkor Wat, you see the architecture, like I just showed with that other one, look just like my discovery. And that's where, when you get over there, you find everything that I just showed you in India. Everything. The same discovery you see right here. Buildings built based on ancient feng shui is what they called it, which is dealing with the ley lines. Geomancy. Let's see if geomancy has anything, or do ley lines have anything to do with geomancy? I don't know what the AI gonna be on. Yes, ley lines and geomancy are often intertwined in various magical and spiritual contexts. Ley lines are often described as channels of energy that can be accessed and manipulated by those skilled in geomancy. Geomancy in this context is not just a form of divination, but also a practice of understanding and interacting with the Earth's energetic network. The Earth's. I'm trying to show y'all something so profound and original and real that it's real hard to debunk. I keep on coming with fact after fact after fact. I could have been wrong here upon questioning that, but it's very important to understand that this says Earth's energetic network, and that's why you would see something that I discovered. If these numbers, the discovery that I had in itself, the geo, which means Earth, geometry, the geometry that I've discovered has to deal with the Earth's energetic network. Straight up. That's why you would find it all over the earth. Now, ain't that crazy? Now, where the Fibonacci sequence doing that at? It's outdoing it because it's building that plant. That's the only thing. But it really ain't outdoing it. That's like and I'm giving credit to the Fibonacci sequence. That's the only thing that could compete with what I've discovered. That's the only thing on earth, mathematically discovered, that can compete. Has an influence out here on this outside world in nature. You look up into the universe out there and you see a spiral called the Milky Way galaxy. So down below and up high, you see that. One of them deals more so with nature, and the other one, it took man in order for me to actually, be able to confirm. Without man building those buildings like they built, I wouldn't be able to show what it is that I'm showing. So these are just because, like I say, in nature, you can't go, it's not like, but that's where you can't say that, okay, well, one of them is nature, one of them is real, the other one, the reason why I said that, and I'm not trying to be jumbly, I'm sorry, because I have more than, I have racy thoughts. I try to keep up with them, I think, so deep and fast, but the facts are at the end of the day, I said, I was saying that the Fibonacci sequence is on the same level. And I started to say outdoes because it is influence. You can see it in nature. But the reason why I took it down and didn't diminish my own work is because the Fibonacci sequence exists because of the number system, decimal system. All of those Fibonacci numbers are decimal based. You must understand that. So when you go to a sunflower and you look at the count that it has of seeds and things like that in a certain sector and stuff like that, that's decimal based. And if you change the number system, it wouldn't be the same no more. So that's showing that something used a decimal system to do that. And the decimal system is right here. And that's why I said that this is the greatest mathematical discovery of all time, because it precedes every mathematical discovery that there is, because it's numbers in itself. It's the organic essence of number. Straight up. And every mathematical discovery has to have number. It's just like in order to build a house, you have to have earth. So the earth is always going to be greater than any house that you own. Straight up. It's always going to be greater, bigger. What does greater mean? Greater is a synonym for bigger, more powerful. I mean, we're right here, right? If I said that the earth is always going to be greater than your house, it chooses whether it stands or not. A storm can come through and knock down your home. It's happening for many. And that's coming from the earth. And so facts are, this is the earth is the greater home. It precedes your home. You get everything that you discovered how to build from the earth in itself. And it's no different for every other mathematical discovery. You have to dig into these numbers. You have to pull from these numbers in order to build those mathematical discoveries and formulas and equations. That's just a fact. A squared, a what? A or 2? Because if that didn't exist, you wouldn't have a squared plus b squared equals, or e equals mc squared. You wouldn't have the number be able to explain to people that there's a number 1 in front of every variable. And just because you see a number there, I mean a letter there, doesn't mean that there's no number involved. Number 1 is here before it's there. Very, very, very important to understand. So I just wanted to make this quick video to help you all understand, you know, because I don't want this to be too long either. That you can go and research yourself even. Ancient Hindu symbols do not have this anywhere. In any book even. The Chakana, the books on La Chakana, do not have any insertions of this. I've read as many as I can. Flip through, because at that point, you don't have to read fully. If I keep it real, it'll pay me and benefit me a little, but of course, because I'm learning about the other symbols, it's important to do that. That like the Chakana of 3 steps. But the facts are, if I can't see this symbol pop up anywhere in relativity to the Chakana, my work is done. I need to see the picture in the book of a 5-step Chakana. That's what my discovery is. I need to see the numbers that explain that that's what it is. My book is already written, so if somebody's seen my discovery, they would have to realize, damn, this could be put in a book. You should make a book on that, bro, about your discovery. Because shout out to J-Ma, he understood that I should make t-shirts. Shout out to Huey P. Huey P said that from the jump. Sure did. So shout out to him too, both of them. But it goes beyond when we look at, that's why I'm showing y'all. I'm going that route, but I'm going in a different way. That's why I got my anime that I'm doing for the women mainly. And the whole purpose of that is to help them be able to be bridged into it too. because the fashion that I want to influence is women's fashion. I don't want to just be subject to t-shirts, starting off like everybody else. I want to make women's panties, design women's panties, and see them walk around in my panties that I designed for them to wear. Let's keep it real. I mean, let's keep it all the way real here. You know what I'm saying? Forget all the BS. I mean, golly, I'm keeping it real. Which one? I mean, as a man that's straight as fuck, I don't understand why a man would want to make t-shirts over making it for a woman. I ain't saying it because I be doggone at me and just start to copy my route. They gonna give credit if they ever tried. But the fact is, man, you making t-shirts over there, y'all. I got all these girls wearing my panties and shit, bras and shit designed by me. That shit is dope. And I can make the t-shirts at any time and they'll wear them by default. So your girl, it's one thing to have your girl, but she walking around in this other dude's stuff. So it's something else to me, man. But anyway, I got off track a little bit. The facts are, man, when it comes to this discovery, this book was written. I want to shout out J Ma again for reading the book. I saw in some screenshots when he was messaging me trying to help me with some herbs that could help me with this spirit that is harassing me. I saw my book in the background, screenshots of my book. And so I really appreciate him actually reading my book. And that's pretty much where I'm going to end this one. The facts are, I just enjoy teaching this, man, and showing y'all everything that needs to be shown behind this. I know that I'm the first to do it and really the only that can. That's why I copyrighted my discovery. But it's only for right now. I'm not being stingy. I want to disperse this to the world, not have it as just mine, but I got the rights and ownership to it to disperse it correctly. That way it's not looked at as anything falsified. I know what it has to deal with. I'll be doggone if somebody just looks at my work and just try to tell me everything about my child that I created, if you understand. You did. That's like you trying to tell somebody about their child. I know this child better than you. You're not going to walk your behind up and just try to sit up and take over my stuff, influence the world incorrectly about what it is I've done, mislead. If anybody that can come after I'm gone. Because if anybody needs to correctly bring this in and show the world the importance of this, because this is showing something. Look here, man. If these people did not know each other directly, this is showing something about some form of consciousness that is interconnected in all people, and possibly all people. Because something that influences your. Let me ask y'all something. Do you truly know where your thoughts come from? Do you truly know where your thoughts come from? Have you tracked your thoughts? Like GPS, have you went to the source of where your thoughts come from, witnessed it with tangible experimentation, looked at, touched, and seen exactly where your thoughts come from? Because if you cannot answer that factually, then it's reasonable to question whether our thoughts come from a higher source in itself. Sometimes, of course, you think yourself, but it's questionable whether a higher influence can influence our thoughts. And at that point, if it could, it is not subject just to one sector of the earth. It'll be in every area of the earth that you could think of. It, as a higher state of consciousness, would be able to be in every culture, all of the people, and influence them how it desires to. Easy to understand. And I mention that because if it did that with something like this right here, you would be able to see over it. The only thing that could do that is something that's worked literally over thousands of years to communicate something like this about a symbol. Those buildings were built, a lot of them, thousands of years ago, millennium ago. That's crazy in itself. Amazing in itself. And so, with that being the case, it's one thing to say that these ancient cultures knew each other, but how And why would over time, a time period now where we don't know anything about fully about those people, these different time periods can't meet? We can question whether they had a way of meeting each other in ancient times, but one thing is for sure: these time periods don't have anything to meet unless you go into time traveling, like this also goes into. So that's what the government knows about as well. Like I showed you, the CIA building is built on this geometry of 4.5, as well as the UK CIA building version. So there's a consistency in the government buildings. The ancient government buildings were places like Angkor Wat. You have to understand that. They didn't have a CIA building, an intelligence, a central intelligence building. They had their buildings were like Angkor Wat, Moher, Sun Temple, places like that. They use this geometry. So I really enjoyed this one, and I thank y'all for coming through. Anybody that did, any likes, even if it's 0, it doesn't matter. I know that I'm showing the facts, and I really love doing what I do. I know that I got a good intent with doing what I do, and I'm learning from myself. And any questions that y'all got, I could learn from too. So keep up watching, and I appreciate everyone that has come through.